Good morning from Above the Clouds Hostel. This is where I stayed last night. This cute little cabin. Alright, entering the Blood Mountain Wilderness. So I just got dropped off at Woody Gap after staying the night at Above the Clouds Hostel. It was amazing. Disco, Lucky, everyone that works there, everyone that was staying there. It was so fun. Met a bunch of people. I stayed in a private cabin with a thru-hiker named Morningwood, and she was so nice. And it was cool, like getting to Above the Clouds Hostel kind of early. We all ordered food from the local barbecue restaurant and hung out, chatted. They made an amazing breakfast this morning. Then I packed up and hit the trail by, I think, 8:30. So I have a lot of miles to do today, potentially. I think my plan is maybe like 17 miles, but Bonnie and Paul, who own the hostel that I'm staying at tonight, pick up at any road crossing in Georgia. So if I want to start my day early, I can, but I want to try to push myself. Had a nice breakfast, feeling good, so why not? In the next 10 miles, I will be hiking over Blood Mountain and down into Neel Gap. So those are big landmarks on the AT. Neel Gap is mile 31, so I'm moving on up there. This is day 3 on the Appalachian Trail. Also, sometimes I go to hostels to hang out and socialize and just be with the other hikers. And sometimes I go to hostels to have some more time to myself and edit my YouTube videos and maybe like film the hostel. And so this last night was more of a socializing night for me. I think tonight at the hostel will be more of a YouTube hostel stay. So I'll get to edit the first 3 videos and maybe show you a little bit of what the hostel looks like. But I just really don't like filming when there's other people around. Maybe I get self-conscious. And last night at Above the Clouds, there were probably 20 other thru-hikers staying there. So it was a bit busy.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
This is pretty.
Isn't that pretty?
And right here is probably where I would have camped if I didn't get into the Above the Clouds hostel. It says warning hazard trees in area, so not sure what that means, but so happy I slept in the hostel. I mean, this would have been fine, but now my tent is really dry. It was hanging up on the balcony of my little semi-private cabin all night, and it was sunny, and then when the sun went down, it was really windy, so it is perfect, which I'm really excited about. It also adds some weight to be carrying around wet gear, so happy everything's dry now. And they did my laundry, so my clothes are clean for now. And now this starts the climb up Blood Mountain. Blood Mountain's still 5 miles away, but between here and there, it's mostly uphill, almost 2,000 feet of elevation gain. I'm gonna stop and take off my sweatshirt because I'm already pretty hot. There's a term in thru-hiking called camel up. So when you get to a water source, just chug some water. That way you can continue on. So I chugged water straight from my water filter and then just filled this little bottle up back to the top. So should have just enough to get up and over Blood Mountain. And I feel like when I get to Neel Gap, I'll probably buy myself a Gatorade. At first, I wasn't sure if I would love this little soft water bottle with the straw because I thought maybe the straw would get in my way, but I barely notice it here, and I am drinking so much more water. The only thing is it's a little harder to refill because it's like a collapsible bottle, so you just can't like put it on the ground or in between your feet and have it stand up straight and filter the water into it. You kind of have to hold it with one hand and then filter the water with the other hand, but I've gotten used to that and I'm loving it. Still climbing up Blood Mountain. I have still 0.7 more miles to the top. It's actually not that bad. It's not that steep, there's some switchbacks, but it's just a nice steady incline for a lot of miles in a row. I did just stop at another water source to drink some more and refill this, and that was nice. There's a lot of people at the hostel that are doing this section southbound and then going back to the hostel, so I just passed a bunch of people that I know, and they said it's absolutely beautiful at the top. One guy said you can even see Atlanta, which is 65 miles away, so I'm excited to see this view and maybe take a quick break at the top. I gotta get my battery pack out of my backpack and charge my phone because for some reason I didn't fully charge my phone while I was at the hostel. I fully charged my power bank, but not my phone.
That's a restroom, I don't think so.
No, this is the shelter.
But there's not a restroom?
There is, look at the sign. There's a potty somewhere over there.
Hey guys, good? How's it doing, man? Good, good.
Of the ridge.
Oh, I see.
Because there's a big ridge between here and there.
And over the trees, you'll see downtown. Oh, okay, I see.
Just the tops of the buildings because of the big ridge line there. I was wondering which one was Springer.
Okay, let me turn this around. Let me take this off.
I'm hiking down off of Blood Mountain into Neel's Gap right now. It is a really nice day, and it's also a Saturday, so put those two together and this section of trail is pretty popular and crowded. So I am excited to get down into Neel's Gap and into mountain crossings. Like I said, I want to buy a Gatorade, maybe look at some of the gear, maybe buy a couple more backpacking meals because it is a gear shop, so they're going to sell those. So I always want to stock up while I'm in a gear shop. So yeah, we'll just see what it's like. I don't think I'm going to get a hot lunch like a lot of hikers do because I'm still doing quite a bit of miles after Neel's Gap, but I might be tempted. It's always the best feeling when you can finally see the road that you've been working for the last 10 miles. I'm not going to stay long, but it was something that I've been looking forward to reaching for a while. I feel like Neel's Gap is like the first big landmark that hikers are aiming to reach.
Hey, having a good time out here at Mountain Crossings and got to meet Taylor today and just want to get the word out. We're starting a hiking program for people that use wheelchairs, and it's going to be the first time at Springer Mountain that we do a chair-assisted hike on the Appalachian Trail. So look for us on YouTube and other places as we get this going, and hope you'll see us out there.
I had a nice quick visit at Mountain Crossing in Neel's Gap. Bought a couple things, bought a backpacking meal, a couple cosmic brownies because those are so good. Bought 2 tent stakes because I was actually short 1 tent stake and then one was really bent so it might snap. So picked up 2 of those. I bought a body armor drink which I put in this, and I think that's it. Spent $18 there. It was so nice chatting with that family. You just saw Greg, who is doing a lot of good work on the AT, trying to get people in wheelchairs to get on the AT, which is so neat. So I will link his YouTube channel if you want to get in contact with him and see what that's all about. It was really, really cool and fascinating hearing them talk about that. So amazing. I feel like I'm a little behind schedule. Got a little less than 6 miles. I'm gonna stop at Tesnstee Gap and get picked up for the hostel. I originally said I was gonna be there at 3, but it's probably gonna be a little later. The hostel owner said they'd help me resupply, which is nice. I didn't have to buy a lot of things at mountain crossings because that can get a little expensive. Yeah, there's a couple little peaks in between here and that gap, so I'm gonna go up, down, up, down, up, down, and then that'll be the day. But I might put my headphones back in, listen to a podcast, and just get these miles done. I had such amazing views today, both on Blood Mountain and then I'm just hiking off of Cow Rock Mountain right now. Absolutely gorgeous day. I couldn't picture it being any better. But now I'm only half a mile from tesnstee Gap. Not sure how to pronounce it, but I believe Paul from Your Home in the Woods Hostel is there waiting for me. So I'm trying to pick up the pace. I knew he was getting there before me, so I don't want him waiting too long. But just talking to these hostel owners the last 2 days, they just seem so nice, and I just can't wait to experience it. Ooh, so close. A couple more minutes.